Hi. There's no rap today. People who watch this show normally know that today is usually the day for Freestyle the News. We originally had it planned to do a Freestyle the News today, especially after this crazy week, and a couple things came up. So number one, Lumi, who was our asset editor for Freestyle the News, had a pretty busy weekend that he had told me about, and I kind of forgot about it, and then remembered promptly. And then Mario also had this really cool opportunity come up that he wanted to kind of take, but he still did the breakdown for us, which was very nice of him. And then me, I'm kind of fucking exhausted. Listen, I'm a bar machine. I'm very quick at writing, right? But after a while, I need to fill my cup and I need to just take a little bit of time to just kind of like recharge my fuel and everything like that. I could have written a rap like midway through Friday. I was like, maybe I should do it before I remember the Lumi thing. But I wasn't like super like excited or eager to jump into it. And that's like a sign of like, okay, I have to take a little bit of a step back for like a week. I'm going to be itching to drop something by Wednesday, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to wait till Sunday of next week. But just to let you know, I got to fill my cup a little bit. But I did record this breakdown about the budget bill, which I think is really important. And we have a really cool sponsor. And I thought I was really funny in this. And we released Griff Watch yesterday. So look, apologize for changing this Freestyle the News to a Zed Talk. But I appreciate you guys rocking with me. And I hope you enjoy. Yeah, so yesterday I woke up and like the side of my foot just felt kind of like achy, and I'm like, oh, that's all right. But then I started hobbling like Kaiser Sose pre doing the cool walk he does at the end of The Usual Suspects. I don't know if I'm okay to reference that anymore because Kevin Spacey's such a fucking creep. Yeah, but I've been hobbling around my place like the whole day. Like I was really mad yesterday because I had to ice my foot. It's getting a little bit better now, but that plus all of the news, a lot. In case you didn't notice, it is a miracle. We finally dropped Griff Watch episode 2 yesterday on Jubilee. Turned out really, really well. I want to try to find a way to make them a little bit more condensed so I'm not like yapping forever. And in the spirit of that, I'm not trying to overextend this episode because a lot of stuff did happen this week, but I just want to kind of focus in on a couple of stories. Trust me, we'll get back to hitting all the other millions of different things. It's just kind of crazy right now. Before we jump into the nitty gritty, I just want to remind everybody, hey, we got brand new merch over at TooSoonCrew.com. We dropped the What Did I Fucking Say tee, and we have a censored version for you now. In case you're in a work environment or you want them to curse in their own heads. Like I said, we also got the Too Soon Elegant tee and the AAA shirt. Both really comfortable, and I added in a couple new styles as well. All of that's there waiting for you. Head over to TooSoonCrew.com and check it out today. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get into this breakdown. And listen, despite the foot injury and all the crazy shit that's gone on the last few weeks, I'm actually in an especially calm mood today. I'm in a really, really good place. Like, especially because we dropped Griff Watch. And also, I got to get a parking spot on my street. Today, I found like the perfect parking spot, and I was a little bit worried, but then all of a sudden, Chuck Schumer came along, and I was like, hey, Chuck, can you watch my car for me? And he's like, yo, listen, I got it. I'm gonna make sure nobody tows your car. And look, I'm ecstatic because I got a really great parking space, and Chuck Schumer is going to defend my car from getting towed with the same effort that he defends democracy and the issues that his constituents care about. Win-win. My car's gone, isn't it? Obviously, our top story today is the budget battle. And there are so many other things that happened during this week that are significant, but we can't really talk about it because it was such a massive fumble in terms of leadership, in terms of messaging, in terms of strategy, and also because right before I was about to record this, I wrote down all of the other stories that happened during this week on flashcards, and then I handed it to this lovely man who was hanging near a fireplace, and I was like, please don't throw this in case one of the embers scares you. Oh wait, oh my God, it was Chuck Schumer, wasn't it? It was Chuck Schumer. Again, it was Chuck. God damn it, Chuck. All jokes aside, let's start at the beginning of the week and where we were. Republicans had passed the budget bill in the Senate and the House that was all over the fucking place. Over the last 2 weeks, both chambers of Congress have been playing tennis over disagreements about what to cut, what not to cut, all of that shit. So it finally kicked back to the House after the Senate had made changes, and the House was like, you know what? Why don't we act like a bunch of 17-year-olds the day before an essay, or like Zed before he has to do another Griff Watch episode, and kick this a couple months down the line? So instead of a budget, they passed a continuing resolution to temporarily fund the government for 6 more months, cutting $13 billion in non-defense spending and increasing defense spending by $6 billion. Among the cuts were medical research and housing programs, with the CR also shoring up $10 billion for immigration enforcement. Now, in order to get this fucking thing passed, because again, it's not a budget, it's a temporary funding measure, Republicans needed a process called cloture. Cloture pretty much is a process with a 60 vote threshold used to stop a filibuster and move something forward towards a vote. Republicans have 53 seats in the Senate and Democrats have effectively 47. So they need 7 Democrats to flip. On top of that, Rand Paul had already signaled that he was not going to vote for the continued resolution, citing his own specific issues with it. And thank God we have the numbers and Chuck Schumer on our side. You know, it's kind of a funny story. I was actually ordering Uber Eats before this and Chuck Schumer was my driver. Crazy, right? You wonder what the fuck he's doing with his time. And I even paid him a tip because he keeps sending me these DMs about how we really have to defend democracy and everything like that. So I'm actually really looking forward to getting my Popeyes. And what do you mean they canceled the order? So let's walk through this real quickly. Initially, it's pretty obvious that Democrats do actually have the leverage here. And the main calculus they have to weigh is this. A, withhold the votes and shut shit down. This would be notable pushback and real use of Democratic leverage. But the caveat is it would also give Donald Trump sweeping powers on what he gets to cut and who he gets to furlough. And because Trump removed Biden-era shutdown guidelines, it's hard to know which parts of the government would be shut down and which parts of the government would be kept open. So the president would get sweeping powers over all of that. This could also boost Elon Musk and Trump's political calculus because then they could just say, hey, see, we don't need all these people. Fire all of the bureaucracy. Fire everybody. Buy another Tesla. I don't know. But on the other hand, B, if they end up passing the resolution, Trump could possibly impound some of the money for his own bullshit. And Democrats would lose the leverage to force Trump to spend the purse the way he's supposed to. Not to mention letting the cuts go through and just bitching out in their first showdown where they actually have the ball. Now, initially, Democrats were really emphatic about Republicans making changes and withholding their votes with the exception of Fetterman, who is John Fetterman. He's what he is at this point, all right? Clownish and stubborn. But even still, with all of the signals present, it really looked like the Democrats were going to stand up here finally in a moment people have been clamoring for them to do for quite some time. And so when the moment finally came, you know what? Actually, let me ask Chuck. I asked him to go retrieve this lamp from this giant cave that looks like a tiger, but I told him, you know what? Don't touch any of the gold or that giant ruby in that monkey statue, all right? Just don't do that. We're gonna be fine. God damn it, Chuck! In a disappointing yet all too familiar moment, Chuck Schumer decided to show his whole ass and say he would help the Republicans avert a shutdown right after he said, hey, we're ready to shut down the government. And on Friday, 9 Dems and 1 independent flipped for cloture. And then when the bill passed with a 54-46 vote, which by the way, vote for cloture and then vote against the bill? Who the fuck are you fooling, all right? Cut your shit. You're voting for the bill. Dumb fuck, all right? Don't try to save face. I have huge obvious problems and disagreements with John Fetterman, and I think his vote here was terrible, but at least he stood on his business, you cowards. The backlash from this fumble was immense, right? Nancy Pelosi broke with Chuck Schumer. Hakeem Jeffries and the House Democratic leadership broke with Chuck Schumer. AOC is being asked to challenge Schumer for his Senate seat, which she fucking should. This whole situation shows that the Democrats have an incredibly weak hand for leverage, which they shouldn't, because it's fucking leverage. Do I have to describe how a fulcrum works? This also gives congressional Republicans more confidence coming into negotiations unless Schumer finally decides to grow a spine instead of letting his nephew run the fucking security at your... I'm gonna stop this metaphor real quickly. Chuck Schumer just sucks. He's just bad at things. Ask one of the many performative speeches he's given for the resistance that have made everybody fall asleep. So look, obviously terrible, not a good decision, and obviously, yes, there are ramifications to this. There will be funding cuts to social programs, infrastructure, and public health initiatives. Trump finally has funding to increase his support of ICE, and it's also stripped a lot of funding from a lot of federal oversight agencies, which might give Musk more room to swing with Doge. Clearly, all really shitty things, all right? Terrible. That being said, let's clarify a couple of points here real quick. Listen, before we go forward, wait, don't skip this, don't skip this. We all know this show is sponsored, all right? But I love coffee, and this shit is gas, all right? This show is sponsored by Trade Coffee. Listen, I love coffee for many things. As a morning ritual, a way to meet people, a way to deal with cravings when you're trying to lose weight. But I also love like the experience around coffee in general. Like there's a certain point where you can taste what flavors and aromas you're getting from different growers. And Trade Coffee is like perfect for the art and experience of coffee. Trade Coffee is this awesome coffee subscription service and an awesome way to not only expand the types of coffee you get to experience, but support some local growers you might not even know about. With over 450 taste-tested roasts, Trade has massive quality and quantity for you to try, whether you're a big fan of coffee or you're just starting to get into it. They give you this quiz to try to figure out what kind of flavors you like, how you like to drink coffee, how you like to brew it, to match up with the perfect bag that is roasted to order so you get to taste and smell the difference. And they are not joking about how fresh this stuff is. I got sent the Alma medium roast, and this is fresh, man. Right? Tasted really nice too. Great flavors. I am having a ball. And look, let's say the first bag isn't your style, send it back and they will refund you for free. And if you go right now to drinktrade.com/Zed, you can get 40% off a Trade Coffee subscription today. Lets me expand the kind of stuff I want to try and also support local growers. So if you love coffee like I do, you want to expand your experience and your palate with it, and you want to support this cool rap show that you might love, go to drinktrade.com/Zed and get 40% off a Trade Coffee subscription today. I love this. Back to the breakdown. Number 1. I am kind of not surprised by this, mainly because all of the times Chuck Schumer has let me down, and also because of how disorganized his Senate opposition has been. And I'm sure you've heard over the last week in headlines, in pundit interviews, in random tweets that this was a lose-lose situation for the Democrats. But honestly, that's actually kind of Schumer's fault. He had no fucking strategy going into this. Multiple Dems, including ones who voted for the cloture, were like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. And when Schumer finally did signal a strategy and was like, hey, we're gonna oppose the bill, we're gonna stop it right here, he immediately caved. I expected Chuck Schumer to fumble, not to signal, hey, I'm not gonna fumble, and then fumble the ball intentionally. Number 2. A little heated. As infuriating as this is, watching people get the wrong takeaways from it is equally as infuriating. Like if you're going, see, the Democrats caved. That means that they're willing to give Trump the 60 votes he needs to repeal every constitutional amendment, serve 80 terms, and become the new American Führer. No, you fuck. Why? What? Chuck Schumer caving on a bill because he misinformedly feels it would give Dems a better position has incentives behind it for him. Schumer flipping Dems to undo the Constitution and put himself in danger and make Donald Trump king is not the same fucking thing, all right? There are no incentives for that. If you honestly believe this, I don't mean to be rude, but you are not playing this fight seriously. I get you feel sincere about that fear, and I'm not trying to disabuse you of your anxieties, although I don't want you to be anxious, but that is just not realistic. If you want to fight corrupt people, out of touch people, or rich assholes, I worked in corporate America, I've done it before. All of them operate off of what is best for them and the things that they want. Schumer felt and was wrong that a shutdown would give Trump more power to cut things and hurt the Democrats strategically, not understanding that political calculus would blame Trump for the chaos. Schumer could have played hardball and emerged looking like the adult who had to reason with a child. You know, just like the last time he had a fucking shutdown with Trump. And no, the damage is not irreversible and untenable. Like, please understand, one of the biggest problems with our government is how swingy it is. That is the side effect of polarization. If every single decision stayed forever, to be honest, Trump wouldn't have any power, right? After 8 years of Obama and 4 years of Biden, we would have Medicare for all and no student loans, but we don't. So again, this is not forever, but it is now. And now is where, if you really give a fuck about actually mobilizing outside of YouTube comments, here it is. If you really got a problem with Dem centrism, here's your mobilization moment, all right? Chuck Schumer is at his lowest political capital. Period. Dems around him have already announced that they're resigning and not seeking another term. Trump is unpopular on the economy and quickly losing approval by the minute. Go fucking say you want shit changed and start building coalitions. I'm doing it. What, you think my Discord is just for Lakers memes? So no, but seriously, if you want my honest answer, when are Dems gonna figure their shit out? When the old guard gets hit in the mouth. Listen, in 2005, Democrats...
Did you just say 2005?
Yeah?
Put a quarter in the jar.
So fucking stupid, dude. Listen, in the mid-2000s, right? Dems were dog shit early on, and it wasn't until August when they finally coalesced. I've seen people online saying, hey, we could have started our own Tea Party movement. First off, ew. No. Second off, even the Tea Party movement started as protests and didn't morph into town hall battles till the summer of 2009, as well as a march on Washington late into 2009. You're 3 months early on that calendar, by the way. If you have the time to tell me how fucked up politicians are, how Democrats have lost their way in a fucking novel written in my YouTube comments, you have the time to Google how do I get involved or volunteer or form a PAC or whatever the fuck you need to do in politics so you can actually make shit happen. I'm not trying to like dog on you, dude. I'm saying go out, do something about it. And if you don't, then I guess Chuck Schumer is gonna have to form his own crew to find the One Piece. What the fuck do you mean that he just joined Kaido? Are you kidding me, Chuck? One job! You had one job! Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out Griff Watch episode 2. We did it on Jubilee. And we'll be back with another Zed Talks and Freestyle of the News next week. Also, go get some merch from TooSoonGuru.com. And anyway, my name is Tabani. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go!